Good morning, Facebook, and anybody who watches this. Um, I thought to wait till after this quarantine was over um, to sit down with my friends and my family to talk about this with you. But I figured I don't see hardly any of you on a daily basis anyway. So um, instead of deleting my Facebook and running away this time, here I am letting you all know what has been going on with me. For the past 2 years, uh, maybe even longer than that, I felt like I was in a very dry and desolate place. A desert, if you will. I did not have, prior to feeling this way, I did not have a relationship with God. Well, growing up in church, I did, and then leaving the church and moving away. But being raised by a remarkable man who daily encouraged me to have a relationship with God, I began to seek after him. My relationship with God didn't seem to grow much until after he got me out of my almost 3-year relationship. And even then, it wasn't a solid relationship with God. After that relationship, I sought out other things, people, images, music, anything that would get my mind away from the heartbreak of losing my dad and also losing a relationship that I had for almost 3 years. As I began to date, nothing was really lasting, nothing was sustaining me. I didn't really connect on a level, like a very strong level with anybody. And it got to the point where I was just like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on here? Like, I guess I'll just be single. Like, whatever, it's no big deal. But it was also like being alone for this much time. It was like when the Lord talks about Gomer and in the Bible, and he says that I will now allure her, I will lead her into the desert and speak tenderly to her. And that's exactly what he did. So then I found a church to go to that I love, and that really made me seek after God. So I speed up to this quarantine, and that's when I really began to fall in love with God again. I had all this time to pray and read my Bible. I had zero distractions besides Laker. So up until now, I've basically been single since the middle of 2017, I believe. Like, it's all kind of hazy, like that time, but I'm pretty sure it was like the middle of 2017. Even not dating, I still considered and identified myself as being gay. I mean, why wouldn't I? A few days ago, I had a dream that I was in a helicopter and my dad was driving and my mom was in the passenger and I was in the back. And I began to look out the windows of this helicopter, and it was the most beautiful sky I had ever seen. And as I think about it now, I feel like it was kind of like an imagery of God showing me, like, for a split second, this is your life. It's beautiful. You think it's beautiful. And And that's how I felt. Even I mean now, like I'm very blessed. Like I love my life, but I believe he was speaking in the terms of living in the homosexual lifestyle. That I thought it was beautiful. And then in a split second, we're going down, and that beautiful image was just snatched out of from my eyes. Um, I wasn't really scared for the physical pain that I was about to go through. It was more about I was afraid for my soul. And I began to wonder like where I was headed. Um, like eternity or like where this was ending. And as we began to sink, like yeah, we were in the sky, but we began to go lower and lower, and it was like we never hit rock bottom, we never hit the earth, but we kept going further and further into the earth. And I saw, like, it was really dark and gloomy and not a beautiful place, not that beautiful sunset that I remember seeing. And I remember seeing bodies that were not happy, and they looked like they were in a lot of pain. And that's when I did the only thing I really knew might work, and that was to call on Jesus. And I began pleading the blood of Jesus over me and my family, mainly over me because I knew I needed it. In that moment, I knew. Seconds later, we ended up in this room that had a lot of beds, and it was also very dark. It felt almost like an abandoned hospital, but more like a waiting room. My mom was in there, and people started asking, well, who's going first? And I remember it was like I woke up, like I got out of bed, and I was like confused, like where am I? But like really like scared, and I was like, I want to go first, and I had no clue what it meant, but I knew I wanted to go. I wanted to be first, and just to get it over with. So my dad walks in and he asked, all right, who's next? I immediately said, me, and he did not look happy whatsoever. Any other dream I had with my dad, we were very happy. So I knew that this wasn't good. As we began to walk, neither of us said a word to each other. My mind was preoccupied by so many other things. We got to a point where my dad had stopped to talk to someone, and then some music came on, like secular music, not Christian music, but music that I would want to dance to. And for some people might know that like I really indulge in secular music, and um, my immediate thought was of a girl, and not any girl in particular, but just like my mind immediately went to a girl instead of a guy. And that's when God revealed to me that's why I was there. I got really cocky and prideful in my thoughts, and I said, well, if that's why I'm here, then I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry my initial reaction is of a girl and not of a guy. I'm sorry I can't control this. I'm sorry that, I was born this way, and like I'm just being damned to hell because of something I can't control, because my favorite color is purple and yours is red. But here, take my life and send me to hell. I don't care. I was so angry and frustrated. I woke up feeling that. Um, but also the heaviness of not knowing where I was headed or where I had ended up in the dream. Like, I mean, I also had a clue where I was headed, I believe. I just believe that God used that dream to open my eyes. In Acts 26:17 and 18, he says, I will rescue you from your own people. I am sending you to them to open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God, so they may receive forgiveness of sins and a place among those who are sanctified by faith in me. So what I'm trying to say is, for the past 6 years, I built my life on a false foundation. I do not believe I was born gay. God opened my eyes, and I am now denying myself, taking up my cross, and choosing to follow Christ. So, I love you guys, and I realize with making this video, it's going to disappoint a lot of people, some of my closest friends. But I also can't deny Jesus saving me. I can't deny his love for me. And as hard as this is, I feel like coming out as being gay was way easier than choosing to follow Christ. Because I know that I have friends who are gay, and now it's like I'm making you out to be who you don't, or who I'm making you out to be wrong. And I just want to say that I love you. I love you, and I'm here for you. If you have any questions, I understand that this will be hard and I may lose some friends, but I have gained so much more through this. So I understand if this is the last time we talk. Thank you for listening.